today, I want to talk about why that's happening, why it might actually be one of the smartest moves a family can make, and how to do it in a way that works for everyone. Section 1. The reality. Numbers don't lie. Let's just be honest about where we are right now. The average cost of a single-family home in the United States has more than doubled in the last 10 years. In many cities, Denver, Austin, Phoenix, Seattle, a starter home now costs $500,000 or more. Rent isn't much better. The average American renter is now spending 30 to 50% of their monthly income just on housing alone. Financial experts have always said to keep housing costs under 30%. For millions of families, that ship has sailed. And it isn't just housing. Groceries are up, utilities are up, car insurance is up. Childcare, if you have young kids, can cost as much as a second mortgage. And don't get me started on health care. Graphic. Average costs graphic. Housing, groceries, childcare, health care. Meanwhile, wages have not kept pace. A salary that felt comfortable 5 years ago feels stretched thin today. Something has to give. And for more and more American families, what's giving is the idea that every generation has to live completely separately. Section 2. The rise of the multi-generational home. Here's something that might surprise you. Multi-generational living, where grandparents, parents, and adult children share a home or live very close together, is actually the fastest-growing household arrangement in America. According to Pew Research, more than 60 million Americans now live in a multi-generational household. That number has nearly doubled since the 1970s. And it is not slowing down. For a long time, there was a kind of cultural stigma around it. Moving back home meant you failed. Having your parents move in meant something had gone wrong. But that thinking is changing. Fast. Because families are doing the math. And the math is telling them that living together isn't a step backward. It's a strategy. Section 3. Why it actually makes sense. Let's talk about what families are actually gaining when they choose multi-generational living. First, the obvious one. Shared housing costs. When 2 or 3 generations share a home, the mortgage or rent, the utilities, the internet, the lawn care, all of it gets divided. A family that might be struggling to afford a $2,500 a month mortgage on one income can breathe a whole lot easier when that cost is shared. Some families are saving $1,500 to $3,000 a month by combining households. That is real, life-changing money. Second, built-in childcare. For young families with children, this alone can justify the arrangement entirely. The average cost of full-time daycare in the United States ranges from $10,000 to $30,000 per year, depending on where you live. When grandparents are in the home, or just nearby, that cost can drop to nearly zero. And the children get to grow up knowing their grandparents in a deep, everyday way that is genuinely priceless. Third, caring for aging parents becomes manageable. Assisted living facilities can cost $4,000 to $8,000 per month. Memory care can run even higher. For many middle-class families, that cost is simply impossible. When aging parents live with their adult children, they get care, connection, and dignity, and families avoid one of the largest financial burdens a family can face. And fourth, the emotional piece. Life is hard right now. Loneliness is at epidemic levels in this country, especially among the elderly and young adults. Multi-generational living combats that directly. Children have role models, grandparents have purpose, parents have support. There is something deeply human about generations living and leaning on each other that we lost somewhere along the way, and a lot of families are finding their way back to it. Section 4. Making it work. Honest tips now. I want to be real with you. Living together across generations is not without its challenges. Different schedules, different parenting styles, privacy, boundaries. These are real things that have to be navigated. So here are a few things that make it work. Have honest conversations before anyone moves in. Talk about finances, chore expectations, quiet hours, and personal space. Write it down if you need to. Treat it like a roommate agreement, because in a real way, that's what it is. Create private spaces where possible. A basement apartment, a converted garage, a mother-in-law suite. Having defined personal space for each generation goes a long way toward keeping the peace.